Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Tara. I garden here at Wild Bird Farm in Zone 5 in central Iowa. We are in mid-February now, and today we are going to be starting two types of Liatris or blazing star. The first one I got from Hudson Valley Seed Company, and this is what I guess I think of as the generic blazing star. The, proper name is Liatris spicata. There's quite a few seeds in here. There's 200 seeds, so we aren't going to start near that many today. And then the second just came in the mail from Nicole at Flower Hill Farm. And this is the Liatris ligulstylus. I will put the name on the screen, but a different type of Liatris. And I saw Nicole use these a few years back. She was talking about how you can use them when they look like little green pine cones, kind of forming up the stem, or they will eventually have like little purple puffs similar to what we think of as blazing star, and you can wait to harvest them later. I am growing this blazing star specifically to put out in our pollinator patch. And if you missed my recent video where I sowed perennial salvia, that is all going to go out in my perennial pollinator strip. And I showed some footage of that. It's amazing how quickly that filled in just 1 year. But I did realize I wanted some purple and I needed some spike flowers. So the salvia will fill in a little bit color-wise, but then these blazing star are, I think, just going to be wonderful out there, spikes around the pollinator plants. And then I want to try this second variety as a Liatris for cutting. I'm not going to go too crazy on sowing seeds this year, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. One reason being I like to try out plants before I really go hog wild and planting a bunch. I know I want them in the pollinator strip, so this year I'm going to grow seeds for that space. And then I'm going to trial a little bit with cutting these and seeing how I like using them in arrangements. If I love them, like I think I will, then I will start more to put in my production rows next year. The second reason why I'm not starting a ton is because Liatris like a pretty decent cold period. So we're in the middle of February here, and the seed packet suggests that you germinate it in the cold for 60 days. Now you could cover your seed tray and put it in the fridge, or you can put it out in the snow. This would be something great to start winter sowing, like in jugs. This would be a great candidate for that. I did have these seed packets in the fridge, which also gives them that cold period. But I noticed that the seed packets say to plant them and then give them the cold period. I don't know if that matters, but that's the way we're going to handle it. This one was probably in the fridge for 3 weeks, but these are less than a week, so they need a cold period. I also noticed it can take 45 days to sprout, and we may not have many or any blooms this first year. So that's another reason why not to start a ton and take up a lot of space before you know if you really love something for cutting. But I do know I want these in the pollinator strip, so we're going to get some sown. The other thing I wanted to mention, the one package suggests that you plant these in deep seed starting pots. So that's telling me that they have roots that don't like disturbed and or a taproot. So I found this tray that I got plugs in at one point. These are probably like vernalized perennial plugs that came in this. There are 32. So we're going to use this for seed starting. My plan to get the cold period is I'm going to find, let's see, I found the lid. I'm going to find the bottom to this, and that's like the perfect size. And I'm pretty sure that the bottom is deep enough. And I'm going to just set the whole thing with the lid on out in the snow. I could put these on the cement floor in this building. We're keeping it at 50. I know it's colder on the cement floor, but I don't think it's cold enough. We do have another area that's not heated, so I could also keep it in that area because that'd definitely be cold enough. Now, when I'm saying cold, for that stratification period, it really needs to be consistently below 40 degrees. Now, some plants do like a cold and then a warm period and kind of vary it. I didn't read that on any of the information I saw for these. I just saw they, as a perennial, they really just want that 60-day cold period. So we're gonna try and give them close to that. I really should have started this a few weeks earlier. So you never know unless you try. We're gonna give these a try. I hope I have great germination on them. I am thinking that Liatris, the spikes of the purple are gonna look great in the pollinator strip. So we are gonna get started. I'm gonna go over to where I have soil already pre-moistened. We're gonna fill these up. They're gonna take a lot of soil because they are deep cell trays. And then we are gonna get our seeds planted. You guys get a real nice view of our workout space. Eventually that will have a space of its own, but right now we're all sharing the only part of this building that's heated. I did want to also mention, I recently got these gloves. I got them off of Amazon in a 3-pack. They are ladies sizing. I have used a breathable glove for a few years now, which I liked. But they were always a little bit big and bulky for me. There was always like a little bit of space at the fingertips and they just felt a little wide. I'm wearing the women's medium. It says 8 medium. They're really lightweight too, so they're not, there's not a lot of extra fabric. So I just wanted to mention that if you are in the market for new gloves, they also have men's sizing, but sometimes the unisex sizing just never quite fits me right. But these fit really nicely and lightweight. So I think in the summer when I think they'll be breathable. I think the packaging even said they were breathable. They're also made with recycled materials like water bottles, so that's kind of cool. So if you're in the market, I just thought I would mention that. They did have different colors as well if you're not a fan of purple. Otherwise, we can start a purple glove club maybe. All right, so this is my lightly moistened soil, and we're gonna put this in the cells, and I'm a little afraid I don't have quite enough moistened soil. We'll have to see here. When you're using these deep cell trays, it's really important to make sure you get them not packed, not stuffed down the medium, but you don't want a lot of air pockets because then when you go to water it, you're really gonna have a big gap. And your seeds might not adhere to the soil quite as well. And with this going to be sitting outside, it's going to be a little bit out in the elements, and I do see that we might see some settling of the soil otherwise. Okay, looks like maybe I made just about the right amount. Go through and tamp this down and see who needs to be topped off here. Now I did also want to mention, is my camera moving all over? I'm sorry about that. Whenever I put the camera on the same table, it gets all wobbly. Yeah, it's moving. Let me move you here. The angle isn't quite as great, but hopefully you won't have the wobbling. I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, I know what I was saying. So I am using the seed starting mix that I mixed up myself in a video a few back. So far, I'm liking how it's working. There are a few bigger pieces than what I would want in my seed starting mediums. I think I will get a sifter so I can get all those particles out when I make my next batch of soil, because I do plan to do this also for the warm annuals. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's get our seed packets and get going here. Okay, neither of these specifically say how deep it should be sown, so we're gonna go just below soil surface. Let's see, now I think I'm gonna want more of these for possible cutting, so let's start with the blazing star here. Oh, there's quite a few seeds in here, so we won't use all these. So I'm going to sow a few seeds per cell, one because these cells are decent sized, and two because I have never grown these before, so I don't know how germination is. And we're, like we said, we're already getting started a little bit late for the stratification period. So I'm going to put 2 or 3 in each spot here. That one got a little bit more even yet. And I got to thinking, if I have refrigerator space in late summer, I may try and start some of these and get them planted out this fall as well. I think I would have blooms that next following year then, I think, if I did it that way. All right, let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 12 of these, and that will leave the balance for the other that have the little green pine cones. Seeds look pretty similar. This actually looks like maybe a little bit smaller seed. You can see them. They are different color than the soil, but not too far off. It's a little tricky to see. So it looks like we'll probably use both of these packets. I lost track of where I was. I think they all at least have 2 or 3. All right, that looks good. So I am going to just real lightly, I have a bit of soil left. I'm just going to cover these real lightly, pack the soil down. Since the medium is moist, I'm just going to mist it real lightly on the top here. And then until I find the bottom to that lid, I am going to set this just over on the other side in this building where it's not heated. I will check the temperature, but I'm pretty sure it's probably in the 20s over there. But then I will, once I get my plastic container, I will just set this right out in the snow in a protected area, just so the wind can't catch it and none of our animals disturb it. So that is the plan. But once they've had that cold period, I will bring them in probably just to this area because it'll be about 60 degrees by then. And we'll put them under lights and we will see how they do germinating that way. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know if you have grown a variety of blazing star or liatris before, and let me know what your tricks have been. Did you do winter sowing in milk jugs, or did you just put the packets in your fridge maybe for a longer stratification period? I would love to know all your hints and tricks. Until next time.